This date, September 12, 1990, is memorable for every resident of the East Kazakhstan region. In the morning, a rumor spread there was a blowout at the Ulba Metallurgical Plant. Before I get to the topic of the video, I want to thank everyone who subscribed to my new Visioner History channel. There I post very interesting and shocking videos on interesting topics. The link to the channel is in the description and in the upper right corner. Well, we continue. The plant was one of the most secretive enterprises of the USSR Ministry of Medium Machine Building. The very same ministry that for many years under cover of its strictly peaceful name had been, as they called it then, forging the nuclear shield. Simply put, it was engaged, including, and first of all, in the military atom. In Soviet times, fulfilling the order of the Ministry of Defense, UMP produced fuel, pellets, for submarines, as well as ground reactors. The factory is certified to work with material enriched to 92% in uranium-235, U-235. The unique workshops here are built and equipped in such a way that, God forbid, the concentrated uranium in the concentrate in operation should not reach a critical mass, i.e. a spontaneous chain reaction should not take place. The fuel pill is the end product of the plant. One of the byproducts is, in particular, the metal beryllium powder. But all this information is available now. These days, UMP openly positions itself as the main enterprise of the national company Kazatomprom. It ramps up production of fuel for nuclear reactors and enters the international market with its pills. And then the fear of secret production, the fresh trauma of the Chernobyl events, which had been firmly rooted in our consciousness for years and had been cultivated, drove a wave of alarming rumors through East Kazakhstan. An explosion, a radioactive cloud will cover it. What was actually like? What stopped the trouble? The main thing, who stopped it? From information about the fire at Ulba Metallurgical Plant Production Association sent by the head of East Kazakhstan Fire Protection Detachment Konch to the chairman of East Kazakhstan City Emergency Committee Kirinbayev on September 25, 1990. On September 12, 1990 at 10 hours 20 minutes to the communication point of Fire Department 1 of Firefighting Detachment No. 40 by phone and simultaneously by electric fire alarm, a message about fire in the building number 662 of Workshop No. 3A was received. Radio telephonist Samarkina sent to the place of fire a guard on duty consisting of 2 departments on tankers and a car of powder extinguishing under the direction of Chief of the Guard Volkov. By the time of arrival, 10 hours 25 minutes, to the scene of the fire, the situation was as follows. The glass panes of the skylights in the finished product warehouse and on the second floor were smashed. There was intense focal combustion of air ducts and process equipment. At the time of the personnel pre-deployment at 10:26 a.m., the second explosion occurred at the 0 mark in the area of the beryllium wet grinding area. At 10 hours 30 minutes, the senior assistant of the head of the firefighting service on duty of the Ust Kamenogorsk garrison Pobris arrived at the place of the call. By this time 12 fire departments with tank trucks and 6 special vehicles were concentrated on the fire. A cordon of the fireplace was made by the military detachment. At 10 hours and 35 minutes the next explosion occurred at plus 10.80. As a result of the explosion, the shockwave on the floors of building 662 destroyed, in addition to the glazing, the partitions, doorways, air ducts and some of the process equipment. Beryllium dust accumulated in the underground exhaust ventilation duct was released into the premises. Hotspots of combustion occurred on all floors of the building. The most intensive combustion occurred near the supply and exhaust ventilation ducts. There was a thread of fire moving along the ventilation duct to building number 615. By the measures taken in the building superscript 1 662 at 11 hours and 34 minutes the fire was localized. Call number 3 was cancelled. At 12:23 a.m. there was a strong explosion in building number 615 in the coarse filter room, which destroyed the glass panels of the skylights on the west side, released beryllium dust and powder into the atmosphere. One of the units with fabric filter bags caught fire and created a real threat of fire spread to other units. The possibility of repeated explosions in the buildings was not excluded. After assessing the situation, Pobris re-announced call number 3, created a third combat station, Chief Volkov, with the task of eliminating the fire in the building superscript 1615. At 16 hours 19 minutes the fire in this building was localized, and at 18 hours 49 minutes both buildings were extinguished. 127 fire protection workers of USD Kamenogorsk garrison, 21 units of main and special equipment were involved in extinguishing the fire. The most likely cause of the fire may have been the impact of sparks and molten metal droplets, formed during welding work in Building 66, on the beryllium powder, accumulated in the underground ventilation manifold of this building. It would have been a local Chernobyl. The beryllium fire at the Ulba Metallurgical Plant is a special topic. It was the morning of an ordinary day of duty, recalls Vladimir Yurievich, a colonel of internal service who took part in those events. Everything was as usual, changing of the guard, household chores, working off the norms. In particular, I took credits from the heads of the fire departments. The call of forces and means on the elevated second number to the most unapproachable industrial facility of the region caused real alarm. The thing is that even we knew little about the specifics of production, which had been carefully concealed for many years. We knew only our colleagues in the on-site fire department. The garrison forces had never been able to hold a joint exercise there before. What was burning there? Into what unknown territory would they send their fighters? The gates of the plant are wide open, no one asks for a pass, panicked people are running through the gatehouse, covering their faces with scarves. Some of those in the know, as it later became known, fled not only from the exploded factory buildings, but also from the city itself. And the firefighters went to the fire. It did not rage with open flames, its devilish power, threatening the lives of thousands of townspeople, was accumulated in the depths of the workshops. The thick walls were sometimes unable to withstand the fire's onslaught, exploding and spewing poisonous dust. It made radio communication between battle sites difficult. The firefighting manager had to make decisions with the minimum of time and, most importantly, information. Pobris sent 3 officers, Andrei Babyshev, Vladimir Guzarov, and Vadim Gladyshev, to explore the underground corridor in order to prevent the fire from entering the neighboring building. As they ascended, they were followed by an explosion that scattered chunks of metal and concrete. The firefighters stood in the way of the great misfortune for almost 15 hours, until they extinguished the last of the flames. That would have been a local Chernobyl, says Vladimir Yurievich. It was very hard psychologically. I guess we can't condemn those who simply ran away from there, leaving us to fight an unknown enemy. I thank you for watching. Your support is very important to me. Your comments and thumbs up motivate me to release new videos on interesting topics. Subscribe and turn on notifications. See you in the new videos.